Hello. Hi friends, how are you doing? I thought today, as you can see I'm getting a blanket ready, I would do a little pin haul for you because Joe and I have acquired quite a few pins since last month and we've basically compiled them all together in this lovely box, and I thought I would just talk you through what we have. As always, please grab yourself a hot beverage. My drink today, if you can see it, black coffee, love it. And yeah, I'm in my comfy clothes. I'm just ready to relax and talk you through what pins we have. I think the best way I can sort of introduce this as well, if I'm honest, is just, I don't know, not go too deep into where we got them, partly because I can't remember. It has genuinely been about a month of getting all of these pins together. I will also say that some of these will be traders. I am not doing any more pre-trades until the July event. I've had some really beautiful people reach out to me and say that they've seen some pins in our trading collection that they would love. I think the majority of these people now, we have created some sort of trade, and some people I will be meeting at the event. I'm so excited. And by event, I mean the Pinsane event in London in July. However, the purpose of this video is just to show you what pins we currently have. And I'm not going to set up any more pre-trades just because if I keep doing that, then we're just not going to have any pins for London, and then it's just one vicious cycle, isn't it? So you know what I mean. I know that you guys will respect that, and I know you guys are just, you know, we're all just so excited to trade that sometimes I think we get a bit carried away and do things because we're impatient. I think I know I am anyway. Let's get into this haul. I hope the lighting's all right. I've tried to go a little bit more casual. I've not got quite the setup that I do normally. Anyway, you don't care, you don't care. The first pin that I will show you, and this is definitely for keeps, from Stu Pins, is the official Stu Pins like collector's pin. It's huge, like, and it's beautiful, and I love that it comes on the classic Stu Pins card. I actually think it's backwards. I feel like it should be on that way, but maybe I've done that. Who cares? And this, I think this was the like B grade one. I don't actually know what the difference between A and B grade is, but on their website there was a tiny price difference. I went for the B grade one just to save a little bit of money, and it's gorgeous. It's obviously, what's this? Sorcerer Mickey. I'm holding his little Stu Pins book here, or his little, should we say Stu Pins pinfolio, I suppose, in front of the castle. I love the colours of this. This is such a dynamic pin. I absolutely love it. And when I looked on the back of this, I was just amazed at the detail, because I'll be honest, I didn't really know what to expect. I knew that this wasn't like an official Disney pin, so I thought maybe the back will be plain, but no. It's sort of, can you see it here if we've got a bit of light on it? It's lots of little Mickey heads, limited edition 100. I think this is like the most limited edition pin I technically have, and with the Stu Pins logo just here. I absolutely love Stu Pins. I talk about them in every video, and when I say them, I mean the business, but also the people behind it. Really lovely couple and amazing business if you want to source any pins, especially Disneyland pins. They're amazing. I would say alongside this, if you are visiting the Stu Pins website and you plan on making a few purchases, consider signing up for the Stu Pins Club membership. It's £15 a month. You get free shipping, you get 10% off, you get a free entry into the monthly Bing Op, and then you can also collect points. Currently, Joe and I have like £25 worth of points in our basket ready to put towards a new purchase that we want to do one day, and so it's definitely worth it if you are a frequent pin collector, should I say. Okay, moving on. The next couple of pins that I do remember getting from Stu Pins, I believe these were in the live sale. I grabbed some Mulan pins. This is obviously Mushu, Little Cricket, Mulan, and little brother here. I love Mulan. I think the film is just beautiful. I think it's epic. I think Make a Man Out of You is possibly one of the best songs I've ever heard, and so I thought it was only right I grabbed a couple of Mulan pins. I do actually think I got more. Oh yeah, and then we've got the guys here arguably some of the best characters in the Disney universe. I love these. I think color-wise they look so bright and beautiful and so clear as to what they are. So really happy to add those to the collection. I haven't really started a very big Mulan collection. I think these may be the first few. I know we've got maybe one more in our case somewhere, so I'm excited. I may get a red pinfolio board, I think, to display those on. I think that would be quite a good colour for Mulan. Moving on, this was a part of a trade we did. So this is in a series. It's Mickey Mouse, the main attraction. So I think he's dressed up as different attractions around Disney. This one, he's dressed as Big Thunder Mountain. I think that's one of the best rides at Disneyland Paris. I absolutely love it. I don't know if it's going to be open when we next go, so Joe and I are a little bit gutted about that, but what can you do? That's, you know, the world will continue spinning. This is actually part of a series. This is 9 of 12. I don't necessarily have any intentions right now of building upon that series, but I definitely think it's something that if I see them for a reasonable price, I may get. I don't know if it's, oh yeah, it's a Disney World pin actually, I didn't know that. So yeah, Disney World series there. Absolutely love that, and that was a part of a trade. I think the best way to do this, because I feel so guilty, I genuinely don't remember whose pins came from where. As you just saw then, it's a big box full of pins. Please do shout out in the comments if you have most likely traded with Joe recently. He's been organising a lot of this, or if we've bought pins from you. I think most of this was probably a purchase. Joe has been absolutely on it recently with Facebook and trading and connecting with other traders and collectors, and so this is why we are fortunate enough to have this beautiful collection of pins. So yeah, please do shout out in the comments if you're one of those people. I'd love to give you the recognition. I am just terrible at remembering, and I haven't necessarily prepared for this video. I just wanted it to be like a casual a casual thing. Right, moving on, we have, this is from the Disney store. It's really lovely Lion King, not necessarily a supporting cast pin, but it is pretty much the core cast of Lion King there, so that's really beautiful. We've got this pin. Joe got this one because he's starting his Winnie the Pooh collection, and it is Eeyore and Piglet. They're just sat on a little tree stump, and actually I believe Eeyore's tail moves. I should probably get it out of the bag. There's no reason for me to keep it in there. So we've just got that here, and his tail swings like it's maybe they're experiencing a bit of a blustery day. I don't know. Joe then grabbed a couple of these amazing supporting cast pins here. So we have a Star Wars pin. I'm so sorry, I don't know which one it's from. I think he said it may be from the 4th one. That doesn't mean too much to me, I'm so sorry. But we've got a Star Wars supporting cast pin here. And then we've also got Finding Nemo. These will be traders. We're trying to get a really good collection of traders ready for July, just so we can keep up with everyone. Part of the fun, yes, is buying pins and adding to your own collection, but we are also going to better our trading skills. And so we've got a really nice range now of pins that are tiny and don't have much value, but they're great for maybe the pin for pin boards. But then Joe has been amazing at collecting some really cool pins, hopefully a little bit higher value, so we can get some wonderful pins in return. This is one for our collection. We have, I think, officially completed our 25th anniversary pin trading pins. We just needed, no we didn't. That's a lie. Let me correct myself. It's Donald Duck we needed. So we got a spare Chippendale to take with us to the London event. We needed Donald Duck to complete our own collection, and Joe managed to source him, I think, on Facebook as well. I think these are some of my favourite pins, simply because of the primary colours. They're just a really beautiful but simple pin. The detail's really great. So Donald here, he's collected Scrump and a Mickey balloon pin. I absolutely love these. We are thinking of moving this particular collection into like a nice smaller frame, just to give it a little bit more of a spotlight, I suppose. And now, because we've completed that collection, we want something that just really stands out and looks quite dynamic on the wall. Joe also found me the builder pin for this particular collection here. I am really trying my hardest to collect more Flora, Fauna and Merryweather pins. I have a tiny but decent Sleeping Beauty collection, as well as Maleficent. I say this every single time, but I think they have just some of the most beautiful pins. The detail, let me show you. The detail of some of these and the colouring is just so like rich and just gorgeous. And I love the pink. I'm not normally like a pink girl, I don't think. Maybe I am, I don't know. But this was just a great way of adding to the collection. There's technically 3 pins there. And it's a nice way to introduce these 3 lovely ladies into my collection. One tip I will also say, when people have really kindly traded with us or sold pins to us, the packaging and the postage for me I think is quite important, because it just shows how that individual looks after their pins, and we've been keeping it. Basically, my tip is, when you receive pins in stuff like this or your bubble wrap, do keep a hold of it, because Joe and I now have a decent collection of like bubble wrap and things, so we can safely trade with people as well. It's just the little details, I think, as well. And that's what I will say is, every single person that we've bought pins from have absolutely shipped their pins in a really great condition. And those little details go a long way. We obviously want to look after these products. So yeah, just a little tip there, I guess. This was a pin that Joe actually kind of finally received in the post yesterday, as part of a bigger purchase that he did. As you guys know, Joe collects Cars pins, so this was a really beautiful pin, nice and simple to get into his collection. He also collects Winnie the Pooh now. Well, actually no, he's been collecting it for a while, so I'm just trying to gather any Winnie the Pooh pins that he's got. So these are really gorgeous pins. I think all the Winnie the Pooh ones are. So this one, he's in like a springed barrel. Spring rides, yeah, literally spring rides. So it just tips here, really beautiful colours, so that's nice for Joe. We actually repurchased this one because my first ever trade with Disney and Days Out, we put this in our traders because on the day we truly believed we wanted to trade it. Just a nice simple pin from Disneyland Paris. And then at the end of the day, Joe had actually bought several pins to start a new Winnie the Pooh collection, and we were sort of sat there at the end of the day like, we actually traded like a nice one. Now, if I was going to trade with anyone, I'm glad it was Disney and Days Out, because I absolutely love them. I love them as people and creators. I think they're fabulous. We have been watching every Sunday their Disney World vlogs and absolutely loving it. So we did repurchase this back from J&A Pins. The details, I absolutely love it. So Joe is very happy to have this back in his collection. And one thing I will say is, with the Stew Pins event in March, that was our first ever trading event. So we obviously wanted to take part as much as possible, and we were still very much learning about what we were willing to trade, what were we actually collecting. You know, you're looking at the value of pins, everything. And I think that day we stepped away with a couple of pins that we didn't regret trading, because we got great pins in return. But one thing that we are learning is actually, you know, you can build your trading collection in a different way, and it's probably best, this sounds really obvious when I say it out loud, to trade pins that you just simply don't have a connection to. There was a couple of pins that we traded, such as like, there was a really beautiful like sparkly stitch, which at that time I was like, nah, I just don't think I want it. And then I think about 10 minutes after the trade we were like, but we have a great stitch collection and that actually would have looked really cool. And so again, it wasn't regretting it, but we were like, maybe we should have thought about that just a little bit more. It's fine, we live and learn, they are just pins ultimately, but we were like, oh, that would have been like a really great one to keep for our collection. Oh well, what can you do? Moving on swiftly, the final one that Joe got in his Winnie the Pooh collection is this beautiful little set here of Pooh Bear in his Jim Jams, and then he's also got another balloon here. This is actually from Hong Kong Disneyland. I think Our like Hong Kong and Tokyo Disney pins are, we don't have that many is what I'm trying to say, but the ones we do have are just so sweet and so detailed, and I absolutely love them. Really glad Joe got that one for his collection. I'm going to save my Princess and the Frog pins for last, just as like a heads up. I did get some, well, I say Joe amazingly found some just gorgeous Princess and the Frog pins, and every time he found one he was like, do you want it? And I was like, the bears poo in the woods? Of course I do. Like, yeah, they're beautiful. And it's Tiana, I can't say no to her. A special shout out for this next pin. Oh, I'm sorry, ignore me. I've just seen another Pooh Bear. It just says much honey, and this is from Disney Our Universe. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Is that an yeah, it must be an official Disney pin. Just a Winnie the Pooh here posing, and it just says much honey on the banner. Sorry, I kind of forgot about that one, sorry. Anyway, special shout out to the next pin that Joe has got for himself. He has a big love for the Cars film, as I said previously, and one of his absolute favourite characters and a scene that I think really quite honestly speaks to him is when Doc Hudson is giving Lightning McQueen a bit of a pep talk at the end of the film. And I don't pry too much, I just know that Joe has, you know, he goes very quiet and he watches this scene very intently when it happens. And he managed to find himself, I think, his first ever Doc Hudson pin. From what we've seen on our research on like My Pin Central and things, Doc Hudson he's quite a rare character for the pins. He's not actually in the film series that much. He's obviously quite a key character in the first one, so he doesn't have that many pins available. However, I think just something like this is so special to have, and it's lovely, isn't it, when you have such a connection to a film, to find pins of your favourite characters and things. It's just a nice thing, and that's why we do it. A few other traders that we have. We have here a Marie. Unfortunately, the card is a little bit battered and bruised. I'm not sure if it was sold like that or just shipped like that. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But we have a little sparkly Marie here. She is gorgeous. There on the live sale the other night, there was a really beautiful Marie pin for like £90, but there's something about her. I personally don't collect her pins, but I know she's a very popular character to collect, and I think it's because her pins are just so sweet and so pretty that you're just naturally drawn to them. I think similar to how I'm drawn to the Sleeping Beauty ones. I love her character and I like the film, but I think it's the pink sparkles that I'm like, I have to have that. It's just pretty. Joe also has a Deadpool and Wolverine pin, which I know he's umming and ahhing about keeping. He likes the films, he loves Wolverine, and he does like Deadpool as well. Yesterday I just know he said he wasn't 100% sure if he was keeping it or not, but that's one that we recently acquired. Another trader that we got is this Disneyland Paris Tinkerbell. I don't know if I love the colours of this. This is a trader, so it doesn't really matter if I like it or not. The colours, I don't know, I like the flowers and I like this bit here. It's a bit like 60s, 70s kind of retro pop. The glass wings though are beautiful. I think it's just the colour of Tinkerbell herself. I'm like, that doesn't quite look like her, but I think it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm just not a huge fan of the pin. So I'm just picking at it a little bit, but that's a trader. Moving swiftly on, got these in bubble wrap and I need to get them out of the bubble wrap, so bear with me. We have this Lumiere pin. This is also going to be a trader. We've got quite a few Beauty and the Beast pins now to trade, so this will be a great one to add to our pinfolio, ready for London. And then another trader that we have, which I think will do quite well, unless everybody has it. This is where I'm not sure. Sometimes we get traders and I'm like, I bet everyone already has this. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they're waiting for the event to get it. It's a builder pin. Oh, I've got to get all the bubble wrap off. If we just ignore the fact that I've just managed... Oh, there we go. Perfect. It is a Mickey and Pluto builder pin, so exactly the same concept as my Maleficent and the fairies. You've got a pin here, and then these two pins slot into it, so you could put any pin, any two pins on either side. This one is just a third pin that kind of frames them, I guess. That will also be a trader, I'm sure. The only reason I'm not actually 100% sure is because we do obviously have a Mickey Mouse collection, so that one wouldn't be a terrible one for us to keep, but I do think Joe got it with the intention of trading. A series that Joe has just kind of said yesterday that he wants to slowly build on is the like a postcard series. Now I have the Princess and the Frog postcard pin on my pin board, which is Naveen and Tiana dancing. It's so beautiful and very different to the other pins I have. The postcard it came on was this one here of Tiana's palace. I love this. I've got some really beautiful artwork now of Princess and the Frog around my desk. And this one is Peter Pan. So of course we've got, it says wish you were here, and it's all of the children, Peter and Tink, flying over London, and then this really beautiful London stamp with Tink and Peter on there as well. Really nice. I think what we'll end up doing is framing all of the postcards and then putting the pins on their own notice board next to it, so it's like a really nice kind of art wall, I guess. But that one is Joe's. He got that one for himself and he said he wanted to collect all of the others. The pins themselves are actually quite simple, but the concept is nice and clever. Now, the final collection, which again, I really can't take any credit for this because Joe has sourced all of these, is what I'm adding to my Princess and the Frog collection. I've got two pins in here that I've been eyeing up basically since September when we went to Disney last, and I'm so excited to finally have them. I don't know how I'm going to display them because they're a bit more grand, shall we say. So I might save them for the end. These are my Princess and the Frog pins. So we have the character gift boxes. This one I believe is a limited, oh, it is a limited edition, I don't have to believe it. And there is a little extra Raymond pin here, and it's got its own little back on there, so I guess you can take him off, and it's all the little details that are related to the Princess and the Frog. So of course you've got your little lily here, you've got your restaurant fund in the back. When you actually look at it, it's easier to work out. It's a bit like, at first it's a bit hard to make out. You've got a mirror here, which is actually like a proper little mirror, and you've got the Princess and the Frog book in the background, so that's a really fun pin. And then of course little Raymond in the corner. I've got a Mama OT pin here. This is, I want to say it's from Disneyland California, I believe, and it's just a really simple little pin of her there. Can you see her clearly? Just get it in the light a little bit. And it's for Tiana's Bayou Adventure actually, so I'm supposing that might be Disney World actually. Perfect. Then I have another pin to add to my Dr. Facilier pin there. Looking very devilish and suspicious, shall we say. And he's holding his tarot cards and his cane. Just a nice one to add. Quite a lot of his pins are quite dark, which I know that's his colour, is it's like purples and burgundies. It would be nice to add some more colourful ones to his collection, and I'm sure I'll find some more grand ones out there, just because the board on his side is going to look really dark, and I think sometimes you struggle to see all of the details for that. Doesn't matter though. And then this final one here, really beautiful pin of Naveen, Tiana, Ray, Lewis and Mama Oti there. I love the blue of this one. I think it's just so stunning. And a nice bright colourful pin for the collection. The two final ones that I'm showing you are actually Loungefly pins. And I think once I've said that, you guys might be totally familiar with what I'm about to bring up. I have the two Princess and the Frog Loungefly pins. These actually match the two bags that I have as well. So this was the first Loungefly bag that I got. It's the lenticular, so you've got little photos there. Do you know what? Let's take the plastic blooming lid off so you can see it. You can see there, so you've got Tiana looking just a little bit disgusted, and Naveen and Tiana on their wedding day. And then secondly, I have Tiana and Naveen at the very end. Look at the colour of that one, it's so dynamic. I think in terms of the bags, I prefer the green bag, but I actually think in terms of colouring, this pin is just beautiful. It's like this royal blue. Just stunning. I'm so excited just to have these for the display. I think I've got a couple of shelves around this room where I've kept our bigger pins, or like we've got a Mickey plush teddy that's just kind of sat on a shelf and looks really sweet. Another pin that we did get actually, which I need to show you properly, is I managed to get a hold of the Disney, I think this is a Disney World trading anniversary pin. This is the big one, to complement our little trading board pins. So yeah, that's on a shelf to show off, because I don't know if I want to take that one out of its packaging. I quite like that it's brand new in its packaging, fully displayed, nice and tidy, and so I think these need to have a similar display somewhere. But yeah, that's it. I feel like sometimes with these videos, I'd love your feedback. I understand at the minute my videos are purely just sat down pin videos, because that is kind of all I can do currently. Which sounds very like defeatist, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I have every intention of building my channel to just be a well-rounded Disney channel. And Joe and I do have like Disney trips planned. We want to go to more events, but obviously these things aren't every day, and we don't live near enough to a park to just go like after work or to go regularly. It's not a part of our routine just yet. So for now, all of my videos are just centered around pins. However, we have, as I say, got a trip coming up. We have got the event coming up. So I do intend on creating more kind of not altered videos, like alternative videos. So I've got some outfit planning, I have some secondhand merch that I want to show off, packing, prepping, you know, what are we taking to the events, etc, etc. So basically what I'm saying is like I really appreciate everybody sticking around and continuing to help me build this channel. I've been so like in love with this channel since I turned it into a Disney space, and it just shows that the community here are so kind and so welcoming, because I'm now at like 739 subscribers, which is just insane to me. Little Ebony just wouldn't believe this. So thank you so much for your ongoing support. As I say in every video, I mean it. And what else am I trying to say? I mean, one thing that I am really working towards, just to be very transparent with you guys as well, is I would love to reach 1,000 subscribers, if not more, maybe even by the event. This is a platform in which I would be able to earn a little bit of money, and I know that sounds like, well, very tasteless, but I think we're all aware that these things can open up some more opportunities for people. And one thing that I would love to be able to do with this channel is to turn it into a little bit of a side hustle and put some hard-earned money, I suppose, towards more pins and more trips. So that's, 100% being honest with you, I'm working towards building the community just so I can share these pins and these stories with you all, because I genuinely love it. But there is a little bit of a gain from it as well. So I'm working so hard to get to 1,000 subscribers, if not more. So when all of my Disney vlogs come out and the trading vlogs from the event come out, we can see this channel continue to grow, and I love it. But anyway, moving on. Whew, I need a drink now. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've had a lovely day, whatever you've been up to. I've got a few days off work now, so I intend on doing, like I say, a couple of outfit videos, pin videos, and just keeping everyone up to date on the gram and on the TikTok and all that. So yeah, I'll see you around, and yeah, bye.